Make sure it's running.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure it's running. Okay. It is running. All right. So I thought a fun thing that I could start doing would be hang on, hold for all my devices to be like, you've gone live.
Mhm.
I thought it would be fun if the landing page here had a little had something poignant on it, and I was like, what if I just pulled a poignant quote from like the previous session?
Ooh.
That'd be cool.
So with that in mind,
Quote. I want to go home.
Previously we have
Where's the
sorry?
Yep, sorry. Go ahead. I don't see the quote, but that's okay.
Zoom
it's
out.
right down at the bottom right. It's right here. Ian, right here.
Oh, I'm zoomed in. Oh.
Yeah, zoom out. We are of course tracking 3 different groups of people, as we have been doing, all doing their own shit right now. I think we're gonna mix up the order of things today just to keep things fresh.
Yes.
But a lot happened last session. Zakar finally made it back home with his big horn. Was told that the king's going to be stopping by at some point to pat him on the back or something. And he sent some people off to check on some outstanding issues that you guys had not wrapped up. Like, curious about what happened with what happened with the Doom Hole, of course, what its deal was, because you've never been able to go back and check on it. Also looking into what was this story about how apparently the Empress's mother figured out how to make Alabar go away, a very long time ago, and wants to know more about that. Meanwhile, Team Brain Cell, as we have come to know them, went north after having discovered that Durork's parents are very much alive and in hiding for his own safety.
Has the brain cell.
Yeah. You made it to Hunter's Vale. You met with the king.
Yes.
He thanked you on the sly for murdering Cloudbear again. And basically let you guys know that he doesn't have much in the way of direct help, but there is still a very healthy spy network kind of working independently of what he wants, and encouraged anybody who might be a member of that to maybe help out these people that are trying to save the world, mayhaps. And then Brando crashed.
Brando went.
That's what happened.
To another thing.
It was a magnificent one.
Yeah.
Yes, Brando escaping. Brando and his family escaped from Mechonis as it was destroyed by Alabar in their wake, and almost made it
by a ship that was threatening to kidnap us, and so we launched a crap bomb at them.
Yeah, let's not forget you thwarted a nautiloid by covering it in poop and lighting it on fire.
Poop burns
majestically over the skies of Eos before being sent into an uncontrollable spin and had to teleport off of the bridge to save your own hides.
And
I'm sure
on the ground.
But with my luck, I would have just crashed it again.
And I'm sure we're all wondering what happened to Brando, but because I'm a jerk, we're not going to talk about that right now. So we are going to start with Team Brain Cell tonight.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, if there's any immediate thoughts you guys had on your way out of Hunter's Vale.
I think we were all practicing. We were sharing our language lessons, right?
Yeah. You guys were
throwing how to say different stuff.
Mhm.
different words. And it's very cold.
Yeah, it's very
It's very
cold up here. But you guys are going to be overland traveling in a very what's the word? Very montagey kind of fashion.
Mm.
Through the frozen north. But knowing your destination, Aurelian, as like a last gift to you as he was seeing you guys off, passed on some directions that would help you guys get there in an optimal fashion. Stuff that he had picked up from his intelligence, network over the years. He gave you very specific directions that would utilize a path that went through a network of like ice caves and stuff. It's to quote Aurelian directly, the path is cold and dark and miserable, but it could be worse. You could be outside.
Hell yeah.
So then, the better part of a week goes by, and you're well on your way through this tunnel network. And it is as he said, it's cold and dark and miserable, and it goes on for days. It goes on for a very long time. And we're just gonna fade into the scene as you guys are trudging through these icy tunnels, snaking through the mountains. Just to paint a picture, what's your guys like light sight marching order kind of situation?
Got magic Bahamut eyes, and also the cloak of eyes. I think that lets me see in the dark too.
Yes.
Yep.
So-
Wild has you on his shoulders.
Yep. Also, my Bahamut eyes act as dim light. I got
Okay.
Even better.
I got
Excellent.
a little bit of flashlight thing going on with
I think
my
you
face.
guys also have horses and maybe a cart. I don't remember if you guys had a cart.
That's the point.
Shit.
Right before I got to the city. I mean, definitely.
Okay.
We did have a cart.
Right.
Do we still have the cart?
Let me scroll back up. What the hell did we say?
You guys can keep the horses in the cart. It's fine. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not those kinds of tunnels.
Well, yeah. We're leading the other pony with on like a leather tie. What are they called? They're not leashes.
Reins?
Reins.
Reins, there you go.
Reins is the
Yeah.
term you were looking for.
Hey, you got these horse leashes?
You got those what you call it?
So anyways, I was holding this horse's leash.
Lead.
And I think it's Wild and Cyrus in front probably, and then Pem, you'd probably be like right next to her behind us, right?
Yeah. She doesn't really have oh wait a minute. Let me see the do goblins? Oh yeah, goblins do have dark vision, but she's kind of at points she gets a little bored and she starts to use minor illusion to create radio plays.
Nice.
Nice.
So you
And I
guys
had-
aren't
so-
bored.
No.
So you hear like,
Mhm.
oh Eduardo, whatever do we do? Oh well, sit tight, my darling, and like just
Oh,
creates
this is a good one. What do you think he's gonna do, Wild?
This is my favorite. I hope he goes back to Love Island and finds Jessica before Tamitha cheats on her with Derek.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, Derek, that awful slut!
That son of a bitch, he's back. You had your chance at the cotillion, you.
Wait, I thought he was dead. I thought he was in a coma. Is that his evil twin?
You had your chance at the cotillion, you. See, I told him. Said so.
So we're not stealthy. Is the long
No, we're not stealthy.
No,
Not at all. Just drawn
No.
through.
no.
At some point, I like to.
This
Sorry.
riveting drama echoes through the icy subterranean tunnels for days.
I like to imagine that at some point we actually talk about the plan a little bit, if so much as just be like, so do you guys think? So I don't know if diplomacy is gonna work out as well for us with the drow. What do you guys think? I don't know much about drow.
Well,
sure. I mean,
yeah.
I don't. I think diplomacy kind of works. Is a good default.
It's all we got, to be honest.
I never met a drow before. I mean, I don't know exactly what their mores are or what they what you're supposed to say, how but I mean, I'm sure we can work it out. I mean,
Do you think it would help if we brought like a cake or something?
I thought. Wait,
that
Drow are underground. Would they like mushrooms?
Oh, like a mushroom pie.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, we're scavenging for pie ingredients
Okay.
as we listen to the radio play.
You want to make a nature check to scrounge for mushrooms?
Yeah, that's the
Ki-
thing that Cyrus
While
Can-
Brightboy knows
while I
about.
Google if mushrooms can grow this far north.
Can I give Cyrus help on that?
Sure.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, because you have the eyes, so you could tell me what you see, and I can use my proficiency in survival to be just like, nope, that one's poison. Nope, that
Mhm.
one's poison.
So advantage or
Sure.
normal? And yep.
Okay,
Needed
well,
that.
8's not very good, so I'm just gonna not keep Google searching that.
I don't know any blue ones.
They kind of all
No.
look blue and light. Part of that's the eyes
Yeah.
too. It kind of might change the color.
Oh,
The light from the
Oh.
eyes.
You keep being like for hours you're like keep an eye out for mushrooms, and then you're like, oh, there's one, and then you get close to it and you see it's just like a trick, or it's like a reflection in a piece of ice, or just like ice in the shape of a mushroom vaguely.
It's another. It's another mushroom sickle again.
man, this one's even bigger than the last one.
How do you think they form like that? Is it like it drips and then it freezes and then it drips some more and then it freezes so it gets all round?
Wild just bites it.
Yep.
It's ice.
It's crunchy.
Yep.
Anyway.
Oh, I mean, do you think like a drow like snow cones or something? Maybe ice
I mean-
mushrooms.
I feel like they got a lot of that around here, so it wouldn't really be novel, would it?
What if Drow like gold?
Oh, maybe.
I have
Do we-
gold.
You have gold. That's good because
I have gold. I could give them gold.
Okay. We bribe
I
them
think
to be
this-
our friends.
This is a good plan.
I
No,
think
it's
this
giving
is-
them gold to be our friends.
It is the best plan we have at the moment.
It's not bribery if it's consensual.
Okay.
I'm going like logically, yeah, sure, whatever.
It's gift giving. Gosh, let's make this weird.
Yes.
So, as you guys are marching and having this conversation, the tunnel ahead of you starts to look like it's actually relatively well lit, which is new. You guys haven't seen like a hell of a lot of light in several days.
Oh, goodness.
and we'll see if we'll see if I can describe this accurately. But as you approach this chamber, you see you've reached a part where the tunnel it opens up into this big chamber, and this chamber actually intersects the face of a cliff at a couple different points. So it's exposed to the outside on one wall. Just imagine like there's big circular windows in the walls of this chamber that just open out into the outside, where the chambers have melted out to out into open air.
Cool.
So you step in here and you're given this grand view of this bright white valley surrounded by mountainous icy tundra. And the view is actually pretty breathtaking, and it's definitely a change, a welcome change. You're probably somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 feet up at this point, and you have been marching for hours. You had kind of lost track of time, but now that you can see outside, you see that you guys are starting to get tired appropriately. As while the source of light is novel, the view is starting to get dark. The sun is starting to go down.
Snuggles more into her scarf.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all look like we're all just bundled up as like
Yeah.
the kid, the Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Onward, pony.
Yeah.
Can I cast a ritual while on my horse?
I probably.
Can I cast Commune with Nature?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, cool. So I briefly become aware of nature and gain some knowledge. Since you said we were outside, it's within 3 miles.
Mhm.
However, are we still technically in some kind of no? Like we're out of our underground setting, right?
So you're still in a tunnel, but you're now
Okay.
seeing that the tunnel is now like, it's extremely high up against a cliff face.
Gotcha.
In the mountains.
Well, if it's only 300 feet, I basically just kind of detect it to see what kind of rock we're looking at, and if it's like hella crumbly and we got to watch our step, or if it's just going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy down there.
Okay. You get, in the interest of time, this would assure you that like there's nothing here that's particularly out of the ordinary or treacherous to navigate or anything like that. And if it was, you would be clued into it from casting the spell. You'd be
All right.
well informed enough to avoid whatever problem came up.
All right, guys. Radio play continues. No risk of a mountaineering accident. So okay.
Mm-hmm.
The familiar ditty of the organ heralds another episode of Love Island.
Okay. So, are we? Or any reason we're not bedding down for the night at this stage, and just
It's
letting
getting pretty
the radio play lull you to sleep?
dark.
I'll cast I'll cast Lehman's tiny hut.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
That will definitely be extremely comfortable. If I recall, that actually regulates temperature and stuff, so you guys will be able to sleep very comfortably.
Is there room in the tiny hut for the carriage and horses?
Yeah, we can fit. Our horses medium size.
Can I make? No, they're large.
Horses would be large, yeah.
Can I make
Yeah.
survival? Can I make a survival check to make like a lean-to for our ponies?
Yeah, please do.
All right.
While we're in the hut, I'll just put my coats on on the horse.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
Yeah.
that's a good roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I take the cart that we have, and then I like pull that, and then use that to help create like our little lean-to.
Yeah.
And
like,
Lehman's tiny hut is on the other side. Brilliant.
That's perfect.
Beautiful.
yeah. You guys are many days into this journey at this point, so I assume this is a thing that you've had to do many, many times at this point and have gotten pretty good at it. Where it's like, okay, we're in the tiny hut. We set up, some dry blankets on the ground, put the horses on it, put some fire next to it. They'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It has worked, and it works again, and everything's fine.
Each evening I go out, I cast a hood and put up my horses. Sorry.
And
Wild
unless you
hogs
guys
eat each of the horses,
yeah.
Oh.
and then just goes to bed.
Good night, Snickers. Good night.
Good night, Snickers. Good night, Lemon Drop.
Yep.
I love you all.
And any other business before you guys fall asleep?
Oh yeah, we were talking about plans.
I like the money plan. Oh, no. Okay. I think that's it. I think we're good.
Money. Yeah, money. I'll give him money.
Very cool.
That's a good idea, Wild. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I guess should one of us... I'll keep watch. Should we
What?
keep watch? It's probably safe, but we should probably keep watch.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
What?
You should cast heat metal on me. Would that be weird? No, that would probably hurt.
I feel like that would hurt.
It
Well,
would
wait.
hurt. It would hurt you. Yeah.
Do you have...
Wait a minute. Hold on. Can I rage? I'd like to rage and then go. Like go. Turn it. Does anyone have it?
Uh, Hold on, let me check. I don't think I do.
If you lit me on fire right now, you could hug me. Warmth.
It wouldn't be too hot. We'd cook ourselves.
All right, I derage.
It's very comfortable in the hut.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
The blankets are so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Best for my friends.
I can't stay mad.
Good night, Wild.
The funniest thing about this scene is that Warforged don't sleep. So I'll just give you. Yeah, you guys could just ruminate on that for a bit.
They don't even have to charge for like 4 hours, like an elf.
Nope.
Oh,
They are immune. They are immune to that. It's very fun to be a Warforged, but
Yep.
I delight in Wild being a freak.
Mm-hmm. I just
It
saw
makes
people
it-
sleeping and didn't want to experience FOMO.
Yeah.
You figured it out.
Everyone kept saying they made me wrong at the factory and that I should have been sent back. I was a factory default and it's very bad. Sometimes I nap. That was a demerit.
That's pretty fucked up.
But do you dream? Because other Warforged, if they don't sleep, they can't dream, right? But you can sleep. Can you have dreams?
Of electric sheep.
Yes.
I throw my pillow at you both. Shut up. I'm trying to dream right now.
Good night.
Once during a full moon, Wild takes a nap.
Yep.
Yes.
When the full moon comes out, I turn into Sleepy Boy.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it's something to do with the cold. Something about the cold.
Anyway,
Blizzard.
all right. So you guys bed down for the night.
Yep.
And spoilers, you will not be sleeping soundly. But we're gonna get to that later, because I'm a jerk.
Keep watch. I even talked about keeping watch, and then I immediately forgot.
No, we're very tired inside
I
the
mean,
hut.
the hut is you're
safe.
safe. You're safe in the hut. You three
Yeah.
are fine.
But
Anyway.
Lemon dropped an Oreo.
Yeah. you dart awake. The horses. Okay. Let's go over to Black Ram Keep, where Zakar has been doing whatever it is Zakar does nowadays.
Hate his job
Mhm.
and try to put together plans to not die in the next calendar year. Spoilers, it's not going well.
Oh, it's going fine.
Shot of Zakar at his desk, writing on a piece of parchment. The camera pans around so that you can see what it's writing, and he's just writing the word "fuck" repeatedly. He has written it upwards of. He has filled 4.5 parchments at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. Especially because he has all of his minions at their various tasks. So there's not really anything for him to do but just be kind of like low-key anxious and day drink,
Mm-hmm.
which does nothing for the anxiety.
Right. So as you're sitting there seething and trying to stay busy, one of your sending stones starts piping up. It goes, "Great club, great 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 club."
Love it.
Let us record this and make it a text tone or ringtone.
Phone call. Phone call.
Okay, great club. I hear ya. What did Davin find?
You hear Davin be like, "Hey, boss. So we found okay, so we're working on something. We found a lead. Let's go with that. So we started asking around, visited some libraries. That was rough. Me and books apparently don't get along very well, but suffice it to say we didn't find a hell of a lot about what you were talking about. And so I started asking around, like, hey, what if there's some, ancient knowledge that is like ancienter than a library might have? And anyway, long story short, we found this wizard here in town. His name's Finian Stoneshine. I don't know if you know him, but regardless, he says he knows a spell, and it'll allow the caster to see a point in history as long as we like have a good enough, like, I don't know, emotional connection to it that we can hone in on it through the weave. A lot of magic shit I don't understand. Anyway, it's gonna be some money, and I just wanted to check it with you, how much money you want to throw at it, because he's saying that if we want to spend like 600 gold, he can cast this spell and he can tell us what we saw, and I can try and write it down and bring it back to you. Or he can just write this spell down on a scroll and I can bring it home. Maybe somebody we know will know how to cast it. But that would be like 2,000 gold for the scroll.
Hmm. All right. Good work. Good job. Hang
Yeah,
on.
thank
I'm gonna make another phone call. Don't
All right,
move.
cool.
Zakar reaches for the team brain cell
Okay.
ascending stone.
We can say that this is a conversation that happened while you guys were settling into camp and before you fell asleep this evening.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anne, I think you have this one.
Let me check.
I think so.
Oh, hey, I apologize. Before we go further, there was a piece of housekeeping I forgot to mention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is totally off topic. I made an item in the item list, which is just Jasper.
Yeah.
Because we tend to forget the Jasper's hair, and I just wanted to establish mechanically where he is, like if he's in somebody in particular's inventory.
Okay.
Does anybody know who is carrying Jasper?
I thought he was at Bifrost.
Did you guys leave him there?
Oh yeah.
He was
I
being
think
a
yes.
fortune telling gnome, last I remember.
Okay.
Like on the counter?
I'm pretty sure we left him in Bifrost this time. We have been taking him with us here and there more recently. But because we split in 3 directions and we're basically like, okay, all of these directions suck. Yeah, Jasper, sit tight. If we're not dead by the time we get back, like
That's fine. I couldn't remember if you guys had opted to start bringing him with you or not, but okay. So that's okay. Good. Done as you were.
okay.
Green Sand is the one that I have with Zakar.
You're making me look at a character sheet. What?
At least according to my notes.
Yeah, that's it. It's the green one.
Okay.
But so Cyrus, you're gonna get a message of like, hey Mooks, I got a question for the smarty little goblin.
Is this the middle of the night?
No. It was while we were picking up.
Yeah, this will be as you guys were settling in to this camp.
Oh, sure. Hi, Zakar here. Pemberley, it's for you.
Derek. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, hey, fuckface.
Hey, how good are you at rituals?
Well, we're kind of in a dome right now that was done by a ritual casting, so yeah, I think I'm pretty good at it. Yeah. Why you ask? You interested? Are you gonna try to learn some spell casting yourself? I can teach you.
Oh God, no. No, I look. One of the one of my employees found a wizard who allegedly knows some kind of spell that would let us look into the past for some answers about the whole apocalypse thing and how to maybe do something about it. And he can either cast it himself or write it on a scroll. The thing is, he wants 2,000 gold to make it into a scroll. Obviously, that would be way more useful than just a once casting, but I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to be throwing a shit ton of gold away if that's beyond your capability.
Did he mention like any sort of requirements? Because there's certain things in spells that are really, really like technical and precise. Spells are really picky.
Yeah, I was afraid you were going to say that.
Yeah, I mean, like most of the time I can't do spells while blindfolded. It's a real drag.
That would be a cool skill, though.
Blind casting.
Well,
One
cast-
sorcery point.
Yes.
Okay. Try to dumb it down for me. What's the biggest, craziest magic thing you can do? And I'll try to compare it with this stupid fucking wizard.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing I can do is I can create a big fucking dragon. How about that?
Is it dragon?
Okay, does it have a name? Don't your spells have names and stuff? And that's what makes it a spell, is that it has a recipe with a name.
Yeah, it's Garfield Goes to the PTA Volume 4.
God. Oh, it does psychic damage.
Yeah, I think I would call it Illusory Dragon.
Okay, alright. Hang on. I'm gonna make another call. Puts down one rock, picks up other rock.
Yeah.
Okay, Devin.
Yeah, boss.
Alright, can you ask this wizard shitface if we write the fucking
Spell on a scroll.
if we pay for the scroll, is the spell any harder or worse than the spell Illusory Dragon?
Hang on. Let me ask him.
Yeah, do that.
We got this wizard. Can he make a dragon? Yeah, it sounds like that to me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're good here, boss.
Okay, so it's not. So it's kind of similar, or not any crazier than that.
It sounds like it's actually not as bad. Assuming we're talking about the same spell. Yeah, she should be fine.
Okay. Yeah. Bring the scroll.
All right, got it.
2,000 fucking gold. All right.
Yeah. I'll just tell him to build a treasury, I guess, because I am definitely not carrying that. But yeah, he knows you're good for it. So, yeah. Expect those back in a couple of days, I guess.
All right. Sounds great.
Right on, boss.
Thank you, Devin.
He does the equivalent of hanging up the sending sound.
Yeah. Okay. Click.
Yeah.
Picks up other phone. All right, we're getting a scroll. Gather the other two. They need to hear this.
Okay.
Been listening in the whole time.
Team brain cell assemble.
All
I was
right.
afraid it was on speakerphone.
All right.
Yes, it was.
So Davin actually found something. He's going to be bringing a scroll that will let us look into the past or some nonsense like that. Maybe if we're fucking lucky. So we could hypothetically cast it and look at how Queen Amenosis stopped Alabar the first time.
That would be useful to know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Although the whole making a giant unnatural desert as a side effect is still concerning.
Well, Cyrus, we could either have 2 deserts or no deserts.
And no world.
Or we can. We need to make sure that whatever Empress's mom did, that we evacuate wherever we'd be fighting this thing, because we don't want to get a whole bunch of people caught in the crossfire.
That's true if we can at least predict where it would happen.
Raven Queen says that that will be pretty plausible.
If he
It's
doesn't get in the right spot, I'll wrestle him over.
There you go.
Yeah, big guy.
All right, I'm gonna get back to planning a banquet, I guess.
Fun.
Oh.
Will there be pie?
Really?
Huh?
I don't know. I'm hungry. It's cold. It's been very icy. Here's the car. We were looking for ingredients for a pie, and there was no pie ingredients to be found.
Hey, yeah, Cyrus. The North sucks, and the Drow are stupid for living there. The Kenku at least kind of, sort of know how to make it work, but I mean, no,
Oh,
it's about the king. It's the king banquet because that's what.
Okay, never mind. I'm less excited now.
Yeah, no, I'll.
No, I'm very, very amused by this.
You will have to fight them with words instead of your fists. Can
Yeah,
you key strike your words?
Yes, and cocktail forks.
Yes.
Zakar hangs up.
No, wait, Baron!
Go back.
This is
go
a
back.
walkie-talkie. This is a walkie-talkie. We project to you. You
Yeah.
listen or not.
Baron!
No.
I have some question. I has a question. It seems like you kind of we're kind of a little flummoxed here. You know anything about Drow?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Do they like money?
I like snow cones.
What do you mean? Do I?
We're thinking maybe like a gift or something. We're worried the diplomacy's not going to work out. So
Yeah, what if we're dumb?
I mean, we
Yeah, I
are
mean
dumb.
you're the diplomat of the group, so we are relying on your
you hear just like this loud resounding sound of just like okay, all right, right, of course it was only me and Brando who ever went to Dorja.
Mm-hmm.
You treat drow like dogs, right? You give them a little bit of kibble and then you back off and then you...
what?
Look,
No,
we're gonna
no,
try our
you
best to
don't.
be very polite.
Yeah, no, polite is good.
Okay.
Be prepared for them to be very, very, very rude. They are not nice,
Okay.
but they're
Like not
not.
nice.
But they're not. Ugh. They're not homicidal, generally speaking. I don't know what makes them happy. Probably gold and jewels and that kind of thing.
Okay. Okay,
Good.
so we
We
will be
got this.
very polite. We got some
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Last
What
time
was-
huh?
What was their leader's name?
I don't know.
Oh,
The last time I was there was like 5 years ago, and we were just trying to uncurse Arzan's. We were trying to uncurse the plank at the time.
oh.
Oh, I think I've
And-
heard the story. It was before my
and-
time.
And it all went back to a lonely, angry, bitter old drow who didn't really have anything to do with anything. So,
Mm. So find the elderly.
no,
Right.
don't find the elderly. I
Find the bitter.
And the bitter. I think they might all be bitter.
Okay. The
Is that-
bitteriest,
It's me.
Okay. Maybe it could
oldest,
be. All right. We don't know. We only know.
wait,
a
there is-
matron.
Mm.
There is one thing.
Huh?
Probably don't talk about the whole Lolth is dead thing until, you get to some kind of until you're talking to a leader of some kind.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's because that's probably not going to go over well with the normal people.
Yeah,
It's not going to go over well with their leadership either. But
hmm
Okay.
Good point.
anything else?
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think we're good. We're just
Okay.
gonna tell everybody that, we're gonna get back in touch with them after they make their preparations, and once we know the location, we'll let them know.
And you can depend on us. We will do a good job doing this thing.
Well,
Maybe.
don't. Okay, I'm gonna level with you, Cyrus. Doing a good job is secondary. The main thing I want you to do
Hmm?
is to not get captured or arrested.
Well, Wild is pretty good at breaking out of jails, right, Wild? You said last time?
I mean, I can bend bars. Easy.
I'd like
Easy.
to very much not get arrested.
But
So
don't
I will
worry.
try very hard not to.
We're not
Oh,
we're
okay.
not gonna get arrested. They're
That-
never even gonna see us coming.
I don't actually know the laws here, so I don't know what we'd be arrested for.
I don't either. That's why I'm concerned.
Jaywalking.
No walking?
Jaywalking.
Jaywalking?
Jaywalking.
What if they don't like radio plays or something? That
We'll
would make
tone
it like
down the
horrible.
we'll tone down the radio play.
No, but what if they
Ew.
like radio plays?
Well, okay, well it will happen. Jesus. All right, we're gonna go find out if Drow do or do not like radio plays. Wish us best luck.
Good luck, Wild.
Ah, good and good luck on the banquet, Baron.
Make sure to eat the expensive food.
Save us some food.
Don't save
There's
any.
not even like good flies up here. Save us some food.
We can have a feast when you get back, Cyrus.
Zakar, there's a
Black Ram is
knock at the door to your office.
Black Ram has plenty of food. Now there's a knock at the door. I gotta go.
Uh-oh.
Love you. Bye.
Bye, face.
Okay, click. Yeah.
It swings open, and Wilhelm's like, "Hey, did I hear somebody? Did I hear? Oh, you were talking to the other mooks. That's what was happening. That's what I was hearing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, how they doing?
Oh, well, they haven't caused a diplomatic incident yet.
Small blessings.
Yeah. Oh, Davin found something. He's going to be
Mhm.
bringing back a scroll, some sort of scrying bullshit. Might let us look at long ago and far away if it's real.
Well, I'm interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, that makes 5 of us, I think.
Sure. Hey, reason I'm here is you haven't stepped out of here in like 5 hours, and I feel like you need this. And he puts a bottle on your desk.
Zakar looks around at like the scattered bottles surrounding his desk. Like, yeah, okay, I'm not going to argue with that.
And if that doesn't if that doesn't alleviate the stress, I'm also well versed in song. He produces a lute from nowhere. Hmm.
Well,
Mm.
miss me with the song,
All right.
but Zakar stands up and walks out from behind the desk, bottle in hand. And it's like, but you're right. Could at least go for a walk. Do something other than, I don't know. Starts to just slowly meander out the door.
Sure. Walkies.
Yeah.
Walkies will say hi to people, remind them that you are not a withered husk of a leader.
Give me 1 second, Chris.
Okay. We are giving
Cut
Taylor a
back over.
minute.
Cut back over to Team Brain Cell.
Yeah.
So
well,
anyway, I found snowberries. I found more snowberries, and I found 3 frozen beetles.
You found
I mean,
beetles? Wow. That's
I
pretty
mean,
good.
I think we could mostly eat the berries, but I figured beetles would be good protein.
Just impressed you found any up here.
They're small, but they wiggle in the snow.
Those had a nice little crunch. Good scavenging.
Hmm.
I got you, fam.
Thanks.
Mage hand fist bump.
Yeah.
You know what? I have a few of these. Let's look beautiful for the drow, eh?
Okay.
Oh,
Walk
never mind.
Whoop.
Well, I know.
Oh, baby cat, say meow.
You want to say hi to everyone, Mittens? Hi.
You got a new cat named Mittens?
Oh no, we've had Mittens, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Comrade Mittens.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I forget that. I'm just like, Mittens isn't its name. No, Matt, you're being dumb. And then it's just like, oh no, wait, no. Mittens is his name.
Yeah.
He is real. I do remember those now.
Yeah, no, the Tenchi and Mittens, they just exist perpetually.
They get along pretty good.
Now they do. It took them like 2 years to finally settle their dumb little kitty differences, but yeah,
Right.
they're cool now.
All right.
Because cats are fucking weird like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, you and Wilhelm just start walking the grounds. There's a cat, and Wilhelm's like, "Oh, great, we got cats now."
Let Lon handle it. He's a druid or something.
It's probably his fault. Nope, get off my foot! Get off my foot! Get off my foot! Get off my foot! He's trying to like tune the guitar with both hands, and he's kicking the cat away from him. It's not your boot. That's my boot. That's not your boot.
Okay.
Anyway, unlike the rest of these mooks, it's a beautiful day in Black Ram Keep.
It's true. It is canon that the weather of Black Ram is always gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very
Yeah, you
temperate
get
climate.
You get there's the more time you spend walking the grounds, the more you realize, like, things are. It looks like it's gonna be pretty rad here. Like you got people moving back in here, like they want to live here. You got a decent sized, military to guard the place. Mazak is doing good work with them. You got the beginnings of a grapevine, which might eventually turn into wine someday. Like in comparison to what Black Ram looked like when you visited it the first time, this is looking like a real place, like a place with life in it.
That's awesome to hear.
And as you're ruminating on all this, names escape me. Stand by. It's been a minute. All right. Mazoga. Mazoga approaches. She's got a rolled up piece of parchment in her hands. And she approaches and she's like, Baron, got some kind of missive for you. And Wilhelm holds out his hand and he's like, ooh, me.
Go for it.
Puts his loot away in, some kind of hammer space. Mazoga is like, I'm not sure I want to give this to him, but you give her the okay. She gives it to him, and he very grandiosely unfurls it. He goes, he adjusts a pair of reading glasses that he's not fucking wearing. He says, Baron Zakar of Black Ram, I am an information broker from Dhaka. I have heard the exploits of yourself and your retinue in relation to an ongoing conflict with a certain world-destroying being from the cosmos. I have information that I believe would be of great interest to you in this endeavor and would love to discuss it with you at length in person. However, I would never expect someone in your position to take the word of a complete stranger at face value, so as a show of solidarity, I offer this tidbit for free. As Wilhelm is reading this, he stops being goofy. He switches from goofy Wilhelm face to business face, more as the letter goes on. He continues, on the west coast of Grick there is an old ruin, a temple to an old Bullywug deity from before their ascension. It was also in years past visited often by someone with whom I believe you are familiar, Dunham Finbaros, court jester to Tragsladag IV. I have it on good authority that you may have an invested interest in what secrets the old jester kept there. I can't say for certain what you would find in such a place. The island is a highly dangerous locale, and most points of interest and value have been rendered void by the locals, but someone of your means and prowess would hopefully succeed where many other adventurers have failed. If you find this information bears fruit, I have further things to discuss with you at your leisure. Come meet me in person at the Snapdragon Inn. Follow the road south from Odenheim for 2 days' ride. Order a stale tea from the barkeep. I hope we can speak soon. With regards, Gilbert Madrang? He rolls it up and hands it to you.
Well.
And then he gets very pensive. He's doing the steepled fingers and thinking very hard.
Well, thank you for this, Mazoga. How are preparations coming along?
Nothing to report today. Haven't heard word from.
I mean, Banquet King.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you have any opinions about what to feed the guy, I'm open to opinion. But I was kind of under the impression I would just figure it out, and we're doing fine. We got all kinds of good stuff.
Great.
It'll be fine. It might not
That's
be the
all I
best
need to
meal he's
know.
ever cooked, but I don't know that he expects too much.
All right. Wilhelm, what do you know about Grick?
About Grick, well, the letter's right about that much. It is a, well, I would hesitate to call it inhospitable, but it is crawling with god awful bullywugs, not the kind of bullywugs that we're used to dealing with, the kind that are crazy and will eat each other, and have been driven by a mad, long dead god. And yeah, there's really no reason to go there unless you're a crazy person. Yeah, it's awful. It sucks there. Did we, Aurelian and fam, have only been there long enough to be like, yep, there's no reason to go there, and just turned around and left. Likely to lose more personnel than gaining any actual usable intel. There's been nobody, seeking asylum or trying to hide out there of, worthy of note. It's a dead zone.
Dead Zone, huh?
Yeah, kinda.
Dead zones for dead gods and dead bards, and as soon as everyone gets back, we're fucking going.
That's that's actually good. I would have recommended that. It occurred to me like maybe we could send some guys, but don't send some guys. Guys are just gonna get killed. Like if anybody's
the guys are
gonna
just
handle
get
that.
killed. Well, if it's as bad as you say, yes, the guys are just going to get killed. But also, this is the first thing that sounds like fun in probably about 2 months now.
This is actually for reals in your wheelhouse.
This actually sounds like something that I won't hate.
Mm-hmm. But more importantly, just the pints going in, small boat, sneak in, sneak out, don't get too much attention drawn to you. Because the moment one of those bullywugs finds out, they're gonna make a bunch of noise, and then the whole fucking island's gonna be after you. No, you guys can pull that off. If
Wilhelm,
anybody.
I already said that we're going. You don't have to talk me into it.
Yeah, I'm trying to distract myself from. I mean, he makes a motion toward the letter like he's angry at it.
What? What about?
Yeah, the Grick thing. Yeah, sure, it's a problem. You might run into some trouble there, and you'll punch it, and it'll be fine. He reaches over and opens the letter again, and he's like, this Gilbert Madrong fellow. That's what's bothering me.
Well then, who is he?
Okay. Maybe the most useful piece of intel I can give you about this person is I don't know anything about this person. I want you to understand what that means. There's two possibilities here. One, he is a fraud, in which case he's of no consequence. Whatever, fuck him. Two, he's better at his trade than me. Or, for that matter, Aurelian. Which is a reality I had never considered until this moment.
Well, I know that feeling. So sympathies, friend. That feeling sucks.
Anyway,
But point being, he's either wasting our time entirely, or extremely, extremely world-changingly dangerous.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, great.
But I mean, he's speaking a lot of truths, right? Look, there's actually not a lot of people that know about Alabar, and there's not a lot of people that know about fucking what Dunham the Jester got up to in his free time. So this guy knows something.
Yeah.
So
No,
if
if
assuming
he was
he's not just some fraud, it means that his help would be indispensable. But just
there's a lot of assumptions going around right now.
yeah, it's just I get nervous when I don't know things, right? So just I'm sure it's fine. Just be careful how you play this until we know the truth of this guy. Okay?
You get nervous when you don't know things.
Yeah, knowing things is my whole job.
Yeah, I know it's your whole job, but that's part of why we're here. And the gestures just around it, literally everything. Hate to say it, you might have to get used to being in the dark like the rest of us, friend.
Yeah, I'm not taking that sitting down. I do need to get in touch with Aurelian, though. He's gonna want to hear about this.
Yeah, go for it. Zakar stuffs the parchment, the letter parchment into his bag of holding for safekeeping.
Sure, and I can forward the text to you if you want it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
That would be good for funsies. What is the current timeline on Banquet? Because I know that in his letter, Trog said, I shall arrive on such and such the 17th, or whatever.
That's a good question. Would you like to fast forward to that time?
Not necessarily. I just want to know how much time is left.
It'd probably be a few days. However much time you need to finish preparing for his arrival. So.
Okay. Okay. So Team Brain Cell is not going to be back in that time. Brando is still missing in action.
I don't even know where I am.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Davin's on his way back. No word from Arcade. Everyone else is doing their job. Do I this is me housekeeping out loud. So thank you for your patience, everyone.
No worries.
Actually, oh right. Right, I sent Rogan with Arcade, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
right?
That is correct.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, I don't think I have any other housekeeping. So we can either fast forward, or we can switch focus.
Okay, we can move the clock forward. Just a few days later, there would be a
question.
Yep.
Is Davin and Great Club going to get back first or not?
Let's say no. Well,
okay.
No, no. Nope, I take it back. They can show up right before he does. If you had other business for them, they do return with a package that has a scroll in it.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking this is, like, am I going to have the conversations with my party members and everything about this now or later?
About which thing?
about the scroll because I am going to look at it, be thoroughly confused, and then and then like call up my favorite local wizard
Mhm.
and be like, "Hey, I got the scroll."
I mean, you could, but there's not a hell of a lot you could do with the scroll at this moment.
No, I'm not saying that there is,
Mhm.
but with fuck all to do, Zakar would look at the scroll and be like, "Hey, Pemberley, does this sound like actual magic to you, or do I need to send Davin back to go kick an old man's ass and steal our fucking gold back?"
In the interest of time, just to like, because there's a couple of ways you could have gone about that, and none of them are terribly important.
Okay.
Because you would not be able to even read what's on this scroll to like verify it with Pemberley, but the wizard they talked to, highly verified by the locals. He definitely did not sell you a lemon for thousands of gold.
Okay, that's good enough then. It's a fucking scroll of what the fuck, and we'll just into the bag of holding.
Yep.
Yay.
Okay. You got a magic scroll. Did you have other business for Davin and Great Club, or?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, I do have an assignment that I want to send them on, but I'll also be like, hey, like, chill out for. I mean, hey guys, the banquet is tomorrow. Like, eat, drink, and then like we'll talk business.
Be merry. Business comes later.
Yeah, but the business I would want to send them on is, hey, Grick, go research, get me everything.
Okay, that's easy enough. Okay. Then we can fast forward. So the first thing that would happen is presumably the scene is all of you like waiting, ready to receive the king as he rolls in with his whole fucking entourage.
Yeah, everyone put on your courtly best and line up in respectable formation.
Yeah, Mazoga wearing her formal armor, which is the same as her normal armor, but it's got like some kind of sash on it.
Yeah, exactly. we have the troops do the coordinated salute. And
all that shit. Exactly. Yeah, a lot of pomp and circumstance, but it's very nice. King rolls in. As I said, he's got a whole entourage behind him, complete with deck of guardsmen and stuff going all the way back, and a couple wagons. Like he'll come in on like a covered wagon, really nice carriage, and then behind him is a whole bunch of other carriages with the rest of the entourage and whatever else. He would get out. His son is also present, but mostly staying in the back and keeping quiet, keeping to himself. And the king gets out looking ever stoic, somewhere between stoic and grumpy, as he always is. And he would step out from his carriage, and he's holding a piece of parchment with him. And he's flanked by guards, and he steps out, the whole procession. And he steps out in front of you to, maybe 20 feet or so. And he adjusts reading glasses that he does actually possess, and he unfurls the parchment. And he says, "For services rendered on behalf of the Kingdom of Daka, and henceforth, I grant you, Baron Zakar of Black Ram, the title of Lorak, and I apportion, all of this." And as he's saying this, a bunch of his procession has already started like reaching into the back of some of the wagons and pulling out several crates and chests to be delivered to your treasury or vault or whatever, wherever it's going eventually. And he says, "May it assist Black Ram in becoming a pillar of the kingdom, and fairy success to you and your compatriots." And then he just wads up the parchment with that shit out of the way.
Zakar, his eyes are like, what the fuck, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But he restrains that comment and and gives a respectful bow to the king and says, "You honor me, your majesty," and then rights himself, turns aside, and food and drink are this way.
Mm-hmm. He, yeah, you ferry him around, and he mentions that it's been a hot minute since he had any reason to come to Black Ram, so he tours the grounds. He seems satisfied with what he sees, and which in his unique language might mean that he's actually impressed with what you've done with the place.
It is not a hovel, and
Yeah.
therefore is I get you.
Mm-hmm. What else? There's something else. Also, at some point, just for your own just for your own understanding, because it may or may not have come up during the banquet, but at some point, Mazoga would have informed you whether you prompted her or not. The word he used back there, Lorak, directly translates to the kind of armor you would wear on the wrist, like a bracer. But it is a term that it's actually a term that is used traditionally amongst Orcish nobility, as somebody who's like, this is somebody that I have officially recognized as a true defender of the realm. And it's mostly just, it's more pomp and circumstance, but it's another thing that would look good on your tombstone. That's what Lorak is.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
That's how you would parse that.
All right. Hang on, guys. I need to update my fucking LinkedIn page.
Your title.
Your LinkedIn.
My fantasy LinkedIn.
Yeah. Update your resume. Lorak of the Kingdom of Dhaka. Since 802.
Yeah, literally experience 0 years.
Since May 802. Anyway, what follows is like eat, drink, and merriment. It all goes well. It's very it's very cordial. It's very pleasant. It's not prickly or awkward at all. Any more than you would expect it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that you wanted to bring up some specific issues with him. Under what scenario do you see that occurring?
Let me answer that question after a brief bathroom break.
Good idea. Bathroom breaks for all.
Okay.
See you in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Man. I'm just remembering all the shit that I'm gonna do with Wild. I have a few more levels of fighter, and I'll get that early stat boost, and I can multi-class into a druid. I'm only gonna have 2 levels, but it's gonna be good. Oh. Everyone's all muted.
Okay. DM has returned.
Yeb shamash.
How we doing tonight? Everybody feeling good?
I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Pem.
Okay.
I shot a message into chat. I have some dwarven capes that I call beautiful napkins, and I've had one with emerald lame that I've just been holding on to for forever, and I figured I'd give it to Pem.
Oh my gosh. You have been holding on to that one for
Mhm.
literal years.
Yep.
For literally forever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna totally wear it for the diplomatic meeting.
This is perfect. It matches. It's good.
It's really fancy, like. I really like it. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
I'm glad you like it. Cyrus, unfortunately, I think you have like 3 capes. There's the Bahamut one, there's probably like a wool one on top of that, and then there's the Cloak of Ice. You're wearing a lot of capes.
Cyrus might be asleep as you're telling him all this.
Cyrus has so many capes.
That makes it even funnier.
Just because Anne's not at the microphone.
yeah.
What's up?
There she is.
Oh, hey. Wild just looks at you and he's just like, you probably have a lot of capes already, don't you? Do you want another?
Capes? It's
Yeah.
very cold. It's so cold.
I knew you'd want another. All right, hold on.
Well-
I still have one more.
But the robe of ice has to be on top of all the other capes. But I assume I'm just like floofing out with all of
Yeah.
the layers going on.
Would you like powder blue or obsidian velvet?
Ooh, obsidian velvet.
Okay, obsidian velvet it is.
Matt, are you sure you're inventorying your fancy napkins right?
Oh,
Feels
have
like
I
you
already
have
given
one
my
away.
obsidian velvet right?
I
Well,
think
Right, this one
away.
doesn't have the other one.
Well, I was gonna say I thought that you. Well, I mean, like you handed
I
out
thought
the
I gave.
You
Yeah.
handed out the napkins like 100 years ago, so I was pretty under the impression that like everyone
And
got one.
yes, these were the 4 that I had remaining.
Yeah, we
Oh,
all got at
really?
least one.
Because
Oh, dude, I bought I bought a fuckload because it was basically just like, no, all right, I gotta buy one of each color. That way, everyone gets one, you know.
Mhm.
okay, yeah, no,
Only
but you
do
are
sisters.
inventorying incorrectly
Oh, do you have? Yeah.
because I have a master crafted obsidian velvet
There it
tiny
is.
cape.
That's the car. I'm putting you on there. Okay.
Alright.
Yeah.
Sky blue it is. I will
Yes.
take
Powder blue.
It
Which
matches
actually
my eyes.
on this little bit of flavor that Wild is gifting to Pemberley. Pemberley, you might notice that this does distinctly match with some of Zakar's accoutrement in particular.
Oh my gosh, me and Fuckface are twinsies.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put the little red one on. Just go. It's small, but it'll do.
Yeah, exactly. Because it is canon that Zakar in fact does wear the tiny cape.
Yes.
Mhm.
It is very funny to me that it both goes to like our mid back.
I mean, they're
Just
not
like-
actually tiny, right? They're just dwarven.
They're
Which is-
just dwarven, which
Yeah.
They
is
just
medium.
fit. That's still a thing. Or a half cape is a fashion thing.
Yeah, it's just I think the joke is that like Wild is so large that a dwarven cape is like, you know, it's like
yeah,
it's not
disproportionately large.
it's not even a lap blanket on that guy.
But it still flutters in the wind dramatically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
he
it's a half cape on Zakar. It's a capelet on
right. Yeah.
fucking Wild.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Well, more of a common rider scarf at that
Mhm.
point.
And
Yeah,
then
there you go.
full capes for my smaller friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's dragging on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Wild can
That's
use
how
it
you
as
know
like
you're
a
special.
Wild can use it as like a pocket square.
Okay. Well, I can work on answering your question, Chris,
Mhm.
since it was like how do you imagine this happening?
Yeah.
And the answer is while I'm not gonna try to talk uh shop with the king like over dinner because he would, like throw a bottle at my head.
Mm-hmm.
Um I would approach one of his attendees and say, I request an audience with the king, either after dinner or like in the morning, in order to discuss ongoing the ongoing affairs of um fucking words and
Yeah,
of
that's fine.
of the future of Black Ram, winking
Sure.
face.
Yeah. I don't think that would be a hard sell. To just be like, hey, how about after dinner cocktails? We could just talk some
Yeah,
shit
pretty
out.
much, pretty much.
Yeah. I think we can go to like we can go to your office or something.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So yeah. He would have a couple of his personal retinue just posted up at the door in the room while he's like sitting in the chair across from your desk, and you guys are just having some wine or whatever.
Now,
And he would I can imagine him like swirl the wine, take a drink of it, and be like, not bad. Is this local?
it is. I got a guy working on the vineyards, hoping to get some meat out by this time next year as well.
Not bad. Looking forward to that.
You can have the first one, King.
So, you wanted to talk business. We were having such a
There's-
good night.
I told your attendant it could wait till morning, but here we are.
It's perfectly fine.
So, I received a message recently from an unknown sender. But this sender had some very specific ideas about our dear friend Dunham, as attended to by as he attended Trog the Fourth. And this message alleges that Dunham spent a lot of time on Grick in his spare time. I didn't know court jesters had spare time, but so it caught my attention because of the specifics as they relate to the ongoing matters. He gestures, broadly across the sky.
Mm-hmm.
But before I went gallivanting off on some random fool's errand, I wanted to see if that made any sense to you.
Well, Dunham was well before my time, but he's someone who is spoken of often in our history. He was the jester, yes, but he was more importantly a man of means. He was extremely worldly. I got the sense from the way he was spoken of that he was perhaps he was much more valuable to the kingdom than as a court jester. I don't know how that arrangement was made, but I think it's more likely that he came from an adventuring background or something of that matter and was already someone who could carry his own before he came into the service of the crown.
The message left in the loot would definitely corroborate such a notion.
It would not surprise me to learn that he had secret dealings, probably more than one. But I don't know why any of them would have anything to do with the island of Grick. But who knows? Maybe things were different centuries ago.
I pull out the letter and show it to the king. This is the message in question.
He reads it over.
Like centuries ago would most definitely be the case. And who can say then?
He takes a moment to read over the letter. And he's like, couldn't tell you off the top of my head. And I suspect that if he did have secret dealings there, then anybody who would know the truth is long since gone.
Well, I might just have some magic for that too. Or my friendly neighborhood wizard does. Okay. Well, that answers that question. Permit me second question that is unfortunately far more pointed.
He doesn't
How did you
stop
make
you.
graves?
Ooh, that is a good question. How did you make? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, I think I kind of talked over you, but I think your question was, how did he make graves?
Yes, I asked him very pointedly, just flat out. How did you make graves?
He finishes his sip and says, "Well, I didn't do anything that was a little before my time, but I think the actual answer to your question is something that high shamans could answer."
How does anyone make a warforged, you mean?
He kind of stares at you like he's trying to find meaning in between your words. And then he takes a really deep sigh and goes, "All right. I suppose if anybody, you've earned an answer. What we're about to talk about should never leave this room. Understood?"
I fully understand the secrets that I'm asking you to unveil, King.
He waves off his guards and they leave the room.
If I was not trying to scrap every single mote of magic and advantage out of this sorry rock that we live on you get my point. I wouldn't ask otherwise.
In any other time in our history, things would be different, but we do a lot of silly things in the interest of the future, but the value of the future is quickly diminishing, so. He takes
Agreed.
he takes a big gulp out of the wine.
Yeah.
As I said, it's way before my time, but I tell you what I understand.
Very well.
My limited understanding of the weave is that to make a body get up and move is very complicated. You can blow magic up the skirt of a corpse. That's how you get undead. You can change the target of the spell or the method, but the result is always temporary. Daka needed soldiers for the long haul. So the High Shamans came up with a method that did make it work permanently. They made graves. I don't have to explain to you all the ways in which that didn't pan out. Graves was a case study in what happens when you don't give when you give consciousness to form, but nothing else. No personality, no emotion, no dreams. He was born exactly how they wanted, with a function, nothing else. He was life without life. The lesson that was taken from that debacle was that there was a missing ingredient. The mortal element. And it wouldn't be the kind of thing that the weave could provide. As I said, you can move a body through magic, but you can't create life from nothing. They needed to provide the element of life themselves. And they would have to source it from where it already had existed. Takes a moment to drink. There was only one attempt to take it from a person. It worked. That person didn't survive. Turns out you can't make a copy of life. You could only move it. And in a staggering show of decency, the High Shamans opted not to sacrifice our population to make an army. So that life force had to come from someone else. Someone who didn't have a use for it anymore. We burn our dead these days, but it wasn't always the case. There's still fields full of bodies of everything from bakers to berserkers in our kingdom. Bodies remain, but the High Shamans claimed the souls. At this point, he's clearly upset about these events. He's recalling things that he doesn't want to recall, and he's a little beside himself with it.
Mm-hmm.
And he relaxes in the chair a bit, and he goes, "Here's a bit of insight. You remember a few months ago, I died. My son fucked everything up, and then these, and I was told all of this after the fact. These clockwork centaurs came out of nowhere, and they were hunting the Warforged down, always spouting the same bullshit. You're in violation of your contractual obligations because your liege naively told you that you were free, as if it was up to him. And they would call them out by name, but the name was always wrong. Well, guess what? They weren't wrong at all. It's just that these extraplanar executioners saw through the metal husk. The Warforged, who had given themselves names, were not the ones in violation of the contract. It was the souls of our lost brethren who agreed to come back from the dead in service to the crown. It's at this point he realizes that the grip on his drinking apparatus has deformed it slightly, and he puts it down. Does that answer your question?
That actually answers more questions than I asked. And I can scratch the Centaur issue off the list, so that's great too. Okay.
It's not the kind of information I'm expected to give up, but I don't know. Feels kind of good to not hang on to it.
Well, if you had made me guess, I probably would have hedged it somewhere around weird, terrible necromancy of some kind, so let's not color me too surprised. Not that I know any more of the weave than you do.
I only know what I hear from my predecessors, the high shamans, their predecessors. It's an incomplete picture, but I'm disgusted by it every day.
But then, if you had a willing participant, then, I mean, you could turn them into a warforged.
Well, yes, it's of my opinion that if you're dead, it's pretty easy to convince you to come back to life.
Yeah?
I can't speak for you,
Yeah.
but I'm not looking forward to it myself.
Huh.
So I
I've
don't
died-
imagine it was difficult to find willing participants.
I've died more times than you have, King.
Hmm.
And here I am, so I can't argue. I think we can call it a night there.
Yeah. Yes, I think that's quite enough for me.
Thank you for trusting me.
He tries to return to business stance and says, "I appreciate your hospitality this evening, Baron. Good night." Then he leaves
Good
the
night.
room.
Okay. Scene.
Scene.
DM, I have a question because my memory is shit.
Yes?
So those guys came from a canist, right? That were trying to collect the ones that were out of like breaking the law or whatever. The centaur.
I don't know if that was
Mhm.
strictly established above the table, but yes.
Okay.
I
So
yeah,
that's-
I don't think the 5 pints ever knew that. Like
No.
objectively.
Wild definitely told you because he
Okay.
got
Oh, okay.
kidnapped by them.
Right.
Oh,
So they're
okay.
not going to be a problem anymore because Mechanist is gone?
Yeah. That's also
I
a second.
mean,
That's also a
there's that.
secondary one.
By
Okay.
and large, that's less of a problem.
Okay.
Which we also don't know yet, but ignoring
Damn.
that.
Sorry, yeah, that's it. Not Cyrus, just Dan.
Yeah.
Wondering.
Anyway.
Good
So,
lore. Whoa.
so with that done, are we ready to fade away from Zakar's scene?
Let's see, we handled Davin. Pretty much ready to fade away, since obviously we're gonna see the king off and just hand wave it, and
Mhm.
I probably would meet with him again before leaving and just be like, Okay, so thank you so much for all the gold. And by the way, our timeline still absolutely sucks. And if you
Yep.
have any cool magic items, now would be a great time to fork them over. Okay, thanks, love you, bye.
Yep. I did forget to mention. Hang on. So when the king had all his people start unloading his wagons and being like, "Here's a bunch of shit," what they offloaded was just assorted valuables, silver, gold, platinum, gems, roughly equaling about 50 grand.
Holy shit! Okay.
So put that on your somewhere.
I
Yeah.
will absolutely.
Just to be aware,
I will
Black Ram has been set up to the tune of 50,000 gold.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me just math real quick. We just spent 2,000 gold and gained 50,000.
Yeah.
So
Net gain of 48,000 gold pieces.
Yep, that sounds like 48,000 gold.
To say nothing of the platinum.
That's the total value of everything they unloaded. In various coinages.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're the scene on Zakar, left alone in his office this evening, fades away as the camera darts violently into the lower stratosphere. The four crew of the spacecraft struggle to come together as it is whirled in circles over the skies of Eos, with centrifugal force threatening to pull you away from the helm as you clamber for the planar anchor. This is you, Brando, in case that wasn't clear.
Oh, yes. I'm like, didn't we teleport away?
Oh, yeah. I'm just
control?
setting the scene. Don't worry about it.
Okay, go for it.
Supplies flew about the bridge, threatening to smash into you. Ralos loses grip on the massive case that's keeping his rotary cannon Legionnaire. This 40-some-odd pound case is sent tumbling across the floor and buries itself in a console. A table flips over and slides into Tao's feet. He tumbles into your chest, Brando. You spare an arm to steady him, your other hand holding onto the grip of the helm as if you have any control over the direction of the ship at this point. Rick grabs onto a pipe and with his other hand grabs onto his brother and swings the both of them into the helm near you. Rick produces the planar anchor and holds it out so that you can all grab onto it. And as the world outside fast approaches, four small hands begrudgingly grasp onto their salvation. The planar anchor alights, and then you were delivered from the out-of-control airship with a flash.
Lose that ship.
A flash, and then quiet, and then dark, and then gravity. And you all fall roughly onto cold, hard stone. Purple glow of the beacon in the planar anchor is the only light source for a moment, and then it fizzles and goes dark and going inert. You might wonder what the planar anchor sounds like. Luckily, Chris was on his shit again this week.
I'm imagining it's like Mario with the key in Super Mario World. Oh.
That's cool.
That is super cool. It sounds electrical and technological. I dig it.
So that happened.
Very cool.
So we all land on the stone.
Yeah, you all land in the stone, and it is pitch dark. Before the lights went out, you could gather that you've landed in some kind of cave structure, but yeah, it is pitch dark in here.
Otherwise, Brando would have quickly tried to look up for the airship, but there is only cave.
Yeah, you don't see sky. You only see black. The first thing you hear is your Uncle Rick. He's like, "Is everybody okay?"
Roll
Brando
call, who's
remembers
not dead?
Ralios fell unconscious, was like hit in the head or something. So he goes to check him.
Tao is like, "Present." You go
Present.
fumbling. You go fumbling around in the dark. You hear Rick be like, "Ralos." And then nothing. He doesn't hear anything, and he's like, "Shit!" And then he's rustling around. Do you want to? No, we don't need. We don't need to roll dice. Why would we need to do? Why would we roll dice in my D&D game?
Brando lights a cigar and looks
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't take but a minute. You do eventually get hands on him. He isn't moving, and once you light that up and light begins to fill the space, you see that your father is unconscious, lying on his side. His face is black, and there is a little trickle of blood coming out of his nose.
Then, yeah, probably use a cure spell on him, because that was a nasty bump to his head.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do, man.
All right, using a cure spell.
Okay.
Do I just roll, or shall we just say it does it?
You go ahead and
What does
go
cure
ahead and
do?
tell me. Yeah, go ahead and tell me like what healing method you're using, and go ahead and roll a dice.
All right, casting at sure, and cast spell. Wait, I have no available first level spell slots to which to cast.
Oh, sure you do.
You may not have pushed the long rest button in a while.
Oh,
Or you may not
how
have
do I-
established your maximum spell slots. It's fine. We can gloss over this.
Okay.
Yeah, you cast a healing spell on him. A second later, he's like, and he starts to stir awake. And Rick is like rustling a bit and being like, hey, brother, wake up. Ralos blinks a couple times, makes eye contact with you and Rick, and then he kind of like cringes up and grabs onto his head like,
How are you feeling? How's your head?
and Rick takes a look at him and is like, "Oh dear, brother, listen well. You have suffered a concussion. You will be fine, but you must rest your mind and body. So please be still and try not to think, if that's even possible."
Also using perception, what is around us? Shall I roll?
Sorry, what were you using to light the? Did you say your cigar?
oh, cigar.
Yeah, that's
cigar.
not
I'm
gonna
using
light a hell of a
match
lot.
to light a cigar.
Yeah, a cigar can light up someone's face if you hold it up to them.
Yeah, dim light 5 feet.
I forget if I have a light spell or something.
Centered on you.
What do I have to light the spot or light the place up more? Oh, I am not prepared for this.
Do you have a torch?
Huh?
Don't have a torch? Oh, I'm sorry. Matt shouldn't ask these questions. I'm not here right now.
Do I have a torch?
I think in the interest of time, just because like you and your two dads probably travel with a lot of weird shit. I think Tao could produce like some kind of like alchemical road flare type of situation. Just
we'll
so
just use a stick, or I have a. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do what we can to make a some light in here.
Yeah, light is not difficult to come by for a low level spellcaster. So yeah, you got Tao manages to light up the space, and what you see is that you're in a chamber. You can see that there's like two ways out of this space. You know, maybe a space, I don't know, 15-foot radius roughly. And maybe goes up like 20 feet ceiling. There are two tunnels that lead out of it that you would need, you would need stronger light to see what's going on down there.
Okay. Where are we?
Someplace underground, presumably.
Did you make this, or how did we How did
No,
the
no,
portal
no,
get here?
no. Rick is like he's laying out a bedroll and like trying to set up his brother, and as he does so, he's like, no, the planar anchor was never designed to be that accurate. It's made out of minerals from Eos, so that we know that it will definitely land on the plane of Eos somewhere. And
I see.
wouldn't you know it, it has put us right next to minerals of Eos. Fantastic.
Minerals, meaning we could mine this place.
If we had the materials and the manpower.
Also, Brando is helping Rick in the meantime as
Yeah.
we're having this
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, you guys managed to you get Ralos set up, and he just kind of like he just kind of folds up on himself and gets really quiet, and tries not to let the headache bother him too much.
Let's see. Do I have something? Brando gives Ralos a little bit of water from the decanter of endless water. Oh, and from the jug.
Yeah, you
Shoot,
got an
what can
alchemy
I
jug.
make from there? Mayonnaise? No. Um,
Are you asking Rick?
no, I'm asking you because I'm like, what does the alchemy jug make? And I think we have it in the journal or the items.
Yeah, you'd have to tell. Yeah, it's like water, oil, wine, mayonnaise. I don't remember
a
what
number of
else.
things and different amounts of them.
You know what?
Love water if
Honey
you want.
might be good for this situation. Either honey or beer. What would be better for like a concussion?
I'm the
How
dungeon
does that
master
help
is not a
concussion?
medic.
Okay.
I thought
Google use
concussions you just need someone to be kept awake.
or no, wine. Wine is perfect.
You need
Wine
them
will
to stay
help ease the
awake.
pain.
Mhm.
So
Make sure to
Brando gives a
make sure
little
to
bit
shake
of
him.
wine to Ralos
Yeah.
to calm
Yeah.
him down.
Don't put them to sleep with the alcohol. Just let them stay awake.
Okay. Then honey in that case.
Yeah. All right. So you guys will make sure that he stays resting as much as possible without getting too comfy.
Mhm.
Luckily, there's nothing here but rocks to lay on. So,
So perfectly uncomfy.
mhm.
Um, let's see. So maybe also perception. Does it sound like anything is alive in here? Like even looking at the ceiling to make sure there aren't bats or anything hanging. Or shall I roll a perception check?
Christopher. Oh,
Chris?
he's dead.
Oh no,
Chris,
we
I don't know
lost
if you
Chris.
realize your mic's not talking. I can
You poor
hear you
boy.
mumbling in the background.
How did it happen? It happened so quickly too. You literally just stopped talking.
Yeah.
Yep. Standing by.
Standing by. Um,
This narrative was too powerful.
this narrative was too powerful.
We'll let you know when we can hear you.
Brando, you're bad. Your perception check for the bad guys
Check.
made it so that there it
I
is.
can hear you
Okay.
now.
I think voice mod crashed.
Oh.
As tends to happen because it sucks. Okay. Still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. Yes, perception check. That's what I was trying to say.
Yes. Making sure there's just nothing else alive in the cave or
Yes.
just that could attack us.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, making a perception check. Yoink, and normal.
Okay. With a 12, it seems it seems pretty dead in this cave. Like you couldn't detect life for 50 feet easily.
Okay. Good to know. We'll be safe for a little bit, it seems. Let's make sure that Ralos is okay before we try to move him.
Sure. Rick says, just gonna throw this out here. Maybe we just hang around here for a bit, make a campfire, take a breather. It was, you know, a lot.
Brando then realizes the weight of everything, and it's like we probably lost the one thing that could have saved us in the upcoming times.
And the last thing I want is to move your father, without knowing where we're going to move him to.
Hmm. You know what? I can explore around a little bit, try to find somewhere a little bit more comfortable. We set up camp, make sure it's defendable, make sure we're safe.
Mm-hmm.
Should we leave? You know what? Brando can kind of explore alone. You guys watch Ralos.
Tao salutes and is like, got it.
All right. Brando will explore not not the exits yet. He wants to just go around the perimeter with lights and such and see what he can find.
All right. I mean, I don't know what else I can tell you. You know the cavern space that you're in right now, and you know that there's two ways out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Are they at opposite ends or on the same side?
they're at opposite ends. But you pick up pretty quickly that one of them only goes in about 20 feet, and then it tapers off and is just a dead end.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good to know. And then the other one, if Brando gets towards light, like he is just kind of sneaking a little bit and
Mhm.
poking his head around just so if something's there, then they won't see him right away.
Okay. You skulk a bit. Like how far out do you want to go?
Let's see, probably about, let's say 50 feet.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to get out pretty easily, 50 feet out into the in down this tunnel. It eventually opens up into a bigger space. Um, you don't see any other like natural light sources in that time, but you do get the feeling from moving around. It's like there's like no life happening here at all. Except for the occasional insect or whatever, but you don't detect anything nefarious in your immediate vicinity.
I might not detect life, but how about I detect magic?
Okay, you can do that.
I think it's a ritual. It takes 10 minutes, and
Okay,
I don't mind doing that.
yeah, you can do that. It doesn't reveal anything magical, except for some of the gear that you guys are carrying.
Okay. I guess exploring 100 feet?
Okay. Yeah, you go out. It's um, there's a lot of tunnel to explore here. Like, how crazy do you want to get with it?
Um, is there any spot that looks like nicely defendable or like comfortable enough to set up camp?
I mean, you could set it up right where you landed, or you could move it somewhere else. It's really up to you.
Hmm. Trying to think, because if we stay there, then there might be a chance that somebody else will arrive, and they might be friend or foe. Um, and if we're at a dead end, then we can at least defend one way.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think. If we go to the very end of the like dead end, then we can at least focus on one way, but then we'd be trapped completely with no backing up. Um, shoot, this is difficult. Then if the cave opens up, then let's move to the open up point, where it's a little bit more spacey. It'll
Okay.
probably be easier to hear sounds or something coming
Sure.
our way.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. You tell them that they can move out into where the tunnels start to sprout off, just so that they'll have some breathing room and could retreat if something did go awry. Yeah. They managed to set up camp. You guys can relax or you can explore at your leisure.
Let's see. One thing Brando will do because of the concussion, he'll wrap up Ralos's head in bandages and put the new helmet that he got on him,
Okay.
just in
Sure.
case he were to suffer any further brain or
Yeah.
head injury.
So he doesn't bonk it anymore. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Perfect.
And then we will set up camp for the night, or for the day. Just check on his condition. If he needs more healing, I don't know if that helps with concussions.
Yeah, I don't know either. How long are they not supposed to sleep in case of a concussion?
24 hours at least.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah,
But again, is that before or after the cure wounds?
Sure.
Hmm.
I'll tell you what. Make a medicine check, Brando, and I'll let you make it with
Okay.
advantage because you got people.
medicine.
Definitely helping you watch over him.
Oh, and I'm good at medicine.
Mhm.
Hey, I'll take it.
That's real good. Okay. I will just. I'm gonna rule. You could get away with him sleeping tonight. Your magical healing would go far enough to prevent him from dying. From falling unconscious. The long-term effects of the concussion will be a thing that you'll have to keep an eye on for for a while. Because the effects of that go on for a few days.
Okay, I think Tao is able to stay up.
Oh, sure. I don't need a hell of a lot of sleep, so
Oh, you do sleep.
no. It's fine. What do you need?
Oh no, it's a full moon. Wild had to sleep. Tao has to sleep.
Oh
No.
shit.
Okay.
I'm
so-
joking. That's a construct joke. Little construct. Just trying to add some levity.
So yes, let us rest.
All right.
And so we set up camp.
Okay.
Tao has the light. I guess we could make a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys set up a little campfire. It's pretty easy with you guys still have like a handful of weird instruments and alchemy stuff on your person that you're able to create things as simple as fire. Your dad
Oh.
kind of closes his eyes, tries to fall asleep. And he's getting some success there, as much as his head hurts.
Shoot, I wish I knew of a way to help prevent the pain. I think the alchemy jug will plus he has the honey in him, so yeah, that's probably keeping him awake too.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He might be a little miserable, but he'll get over it.
Brando also instructs Tao, like, here's a spoon, pour a little bit of honey on there, make sure he gets heat the spoon a little bit, make sure it doesn't burn him, and feed him a little bit of warm honey every so often.
Okay. This goes on for a while until Ralos gets really tired of eating honey. He does eventually pass out. Do you want Tao to just hang out with him? Make sure he's
Yes.
gonna be okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we sleep around Ralos, so if anything attacks, it attacks us
Sure.
first.
All right. So you guys are just hanging around the campfire. Tao is just hanging out next to Ralos, making sure he doesn't, nothing bad happens. Ralos does eventually start to fall asleep after just being fucking exhausted by everything that's happening. Rick comes back to the campfire after taking a pee break or something. He comes down to sit next to you, and he's like, he says, "I hate to say it, but we should have named the ship."
I had a name in mind, but how about we make this our goal? If we can find the wreck, then we get to name it.
I mean, that's good, but we should make sure to name it like as soon as possible next time. It's bad luck. Clearly, that's where we went wrong.
Just it's the last thing of Mechanus. Well, also Tau and Wild. But yeah, like oh, and then Brando shuts up because he realizes that was kind of insensitive to Tau. But we need to find that ship. I cannot accept a loss like that. I wish we had put a tracking device or some way to find it.
I wouldn't lose that much faith. That ship is going to crash somewhere on the surface, and I mean, it's at least the size of the mongoose, and when it does hit the ground, it's not, someone's going to notice. It's pretty difficult to hide an airship for too long.
This is true.
And when it does, I don't see any reason why we can't just go out of our way to fix it. I mean, even if it's completely defunct and has to be built from scratch, Mechanus provided us with all the parts we need. We just need the manpower, dedicated crew of people to replace the Meow Cafe, and we could get it up and running in a few months, just in time for things.
Have you guys remembered all the parts of the Meow Cafe?
No, certainly not.
least-
That is the thing I'm actually upset about. That thing was a marvel of engineering.
That
But
thing
it's gone
was
now.
amazing. Just yeah, I wish we had one of those. You know what? If we complete this world ending thing, we can make one of those.
That is a good goal.
We'll call it Meow Cafe 2,
Mm-hmm.
The Reckoning.
Yes, electric boogaloo, I think is the
I
joke.
like it. But yes, somebody will notice. We'll probably catch wind of it. We can even potentially let the grave callers know right now, but I don't know if you guys have a contact with them.
Not on my person, but we know how to get a hold of Aurelian once we get to civilization.
Mm-hmm. The expenses that Wilhelm paid for us. I really wanted to get the grave callers back up and running, but right when we got back to the planet, it would be a funny joke if the ship crashed near Aurelian and he's like, "Well, I was hoping for something and something just appeared for me."
Well, I can't say the heavens didn't answer. Rick gets kind of a 100-yard stare. He's looking at Ralos from across the campfire as he's trying to sleep, and he's like, "I'm sure that he'll resent me for pulling us out of there."
Go ahead.
I'm just. He would have gladly died in that crash. Sure that he would have been able to fix the problem right up until it killed him.
Rick, I think you were with us, yeah, when I crashed the mongoose. It is a pain in my heart to let that thing go for us to leave, but I know with my luck, I wouldn't have been able to pull it through.
Oh, I don't know that luck has anything to do with it. And it's not as if I don't miss the craft myself. I worry that if Father doesn't. I don't know. I would not say that he doesn't see the value of his own life, but from moment to moment he can forget that he's not invincible.
When one gets caught up in their own work, sometimes we see nothing else.
That is the Skyfire curse, isn't it?
You're not wrong.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure he won't want to talk to me for a while, but he'll get over it. I'm his best collaborator. Well, second best. He gives you a nudge.
At least we can make the decisions for now. He can blame
That is a
us later.
great point. No Rallos opinions for a couple of days. I'll take it.
I hope we can get out of here safely. I don't know what's in this cave.
I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Until then, shall we get some sleep and then tomorrow we can start trekking, even
Sure.
if slowly?
Yes, that's a great idea.
All right. Let us sleep. And anything else before we sleep?
Are you asking the DM? Because no.
Both the DM and Rick.
Okay. Nothing from Rick. He's ready to sleep too.
All right. Then to sleep we go.
It is one of those things where after having endured something like that and being like, okay, we need to quickly get a camp set up before, something bad happens. And then the moment you're able to relax, you realize how long you've been putting off rest, and it comes very quickly to you.
Brando takes a spoonful of warm honey before sleep.
In the interest of time, we'll fast forward the next day's worth of events. So when you awaken the next morning, your dad's fine. Tao tells you that at some point in the night, he got bored and it was pretty clear that Rallos was doing okay. So he stepped out and started checking just kind of circling the perimeter and stuff. And he got comfortable enough with the area because he had hours and hours to burn. He went out and kind of mapped in his head the area and the caves around it and stuff, and he eventually got to a point where he was able to find signs of man-made structures and things like that. And he followed that lead until he discovered that you guys are basically in old Odenheim. You're in the flooded ruins of the ancient version of Odenheim, which is a good thing because while these tunnels are not frequented by rational people, there is a way back to Odenheim through these tunnels. They are not even difficult to. They're not even difficult to navigate.
I might go out on a limb here, and Brando will talk to Rick about this first out of Ralos's earshot. Should I call Skyfire Labs? Dad won't like it, but
For what?
they might be able to send a search party.
Do you have a way to call Skyfire Labs remotely?
Let me double check to see if I have a sending stone to them. Let's see. Sending stone to Cyrus. Sending stone to Zakar. Orange sending stone Brando to Wild. Darn it. Nope. Okay, never mind.
It's fine. It would be if you want to play it safe, what you can do is leave a few of you here, and then go get help in Odenheim, and they could come back with, they could pick up your dad safely and ferry him to a hospital. But before we part from the Brando story, I just want to know what your plans are for the future. Your dad is going to be taken into Odenheim, and once they realize who he is, he will be put in a very nice hospital, and he will be cared for until he is well. Rick has every intention of staying with him in that time period. What do you want to do?
It.
No wrong
Trying to
answers.
think. Huh?
No wrong answers.
Because if it becomes known that he's back in Odenheim, then it'll cause a great uproar, and I think Rick and Ralos want to stay secretive still. But that's not to say we could take him to Starfire or Skyfire Labs somewhat privately.
They could keep it on the down low.
Yeah, keep it on the down
Yeah.
low. Brando's mother will take care of or help take care of Ralos and probably like shake him and do more further brain damage to him because
he
he's been
humbly
gone
he
forever.
humbly requests not going home.
Yet he doesn't have a reason to stay secretive, even to his wife after asking for her was it key lime pie or custard pie?
It was a custard pastry of some kind.
Yeah.
The point is, it's like the idea of him being at home. He's like, I'd rather go to the hospital.
No, it has to be home. It has to be out of the public view as much as possible.
Okay.
Um,
In that case, Rick is not going to stay with him. He's like, that's gonna turn into something else, and I don't want to be here for it. But he'll be fine at any rate.
Otherwise, what is your suggestion, Rick?
As far as what, I'm
As far
going
as
to
the best choice of action.
well, I'm going to get a hold of Aurelian and update him on the situation, and I'm sure that he will be able to locate the wreck in short order once he is aware to look for it. And then after that, I think the three of us should reconverge, maybe the four of us, depending on how Tao is feeling.
Mhm.
And mobilize as big of a workhorse as we can to get the thing up and running again.
I would like to participate if I can, unless I'm needed elsewhere. So,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, if you end up having duties somewhere else that call for you, then that is fine too. But know that the Skyfire project will always welcome your hand.
of course. I say I could go out, but it would leave one less man to defend us.
Oh, I wouldn't be worried about your dad. If I can walk the streets of Odenheim, he can.
In that case, I'd say let's all go together.
I think the biggest threat to your father at this very moment is having to look his wife in the face.
He can deal with it.
Yes, he
After
can.
what he put her through, he can deal with it.
Yes, it's about time that he,
Plus,
once in a
I'm not going
while.
to have the world end and have her still believe that her husband's dead.
Once in a while, your father needs to be hoisted by his own petard. So I'm going to let that happen.
Brando gives Rick a good pound on the shoulder.
Anyway,
I missed you guys.
It's sad that we had to meet and immediately get to work for a week straight. But as it turns out,
Skyfire way.
And as it turns out, duty calls. So I'm going to go, and I will definitely keep you up to date on any goings on.
All right, let us get Dad to Odenheim.
All right, stay safe. And yes, and hugs. Departing. Ralos gets home. All that's fine. All that's gonna happen. And where's Brando going from there?
Brando makes contact with the others, going like, "Hey, we made it back safely. The airship, we're not sure if it made it. If there's any news about that going on, or if you hear any news of a flying meteor or something crashing into the Earth, let me know."
On that note,
I was going to say something. Yes.
we're
Go for
gonna
it.
we're just gonna stop. We're gonna hard stop right there. And our camera is going to fly back to the frozen north.
Oh.
Yes. It's windy.
It's a little windy.
These caves. Spooky.
Pemberley,
Yeah.
you awake to find yourself standing upon an endless plain. Everything above the horizon is a bright gray color. Everything below it is blackened. And the moment you even think to move in any way, you disturb the water that you're standing in up to your knees. This black water ripples out from you. And it's dark enough that it's hard to see your ankles. And just because this is a role-playing game, like what's Pemberley think or do in this moment?
It's just like, just freezes. She just freezes. What? And she can't see anything. Like, she just looks around, just tries to find any sort of. Hello?
Yeah, you whirl around, you speak into the void. You can hear your voice echo out. It just feels like you're in infinite space. And you look around and you don't see anything in any direction.
Takes her little foot and toes it about maybe 4 inches in front of her.
Mhm.
Tries to test the weight.
Okay. The ground under your feet feels it feels soft, but not like soft like soil. Basically, it doesn't feel like it's going to give way or anything. It holds your weight.
She just takes a direction. Wild? Cyrus? What the fuck, guys? This isn't funny.
You guys know how when you're when you're on the lake or in the pool, you can see the ripples go out, and when they hit the edge of the water, they'll bounce off like sound waves. Like you can watch them come back to you.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're whirling around and yelling out into the void, after a second, you notice that the ripples have started to lap at the back of your knees, like something is disturbing the water behind you.
Oh, she immediately misty steps
Okay.
and turns back.
Okay. In which direction are you misty stepping?
If it's getting the back of her knees, then forward, trying to get distance between herself and.
Okay. You misty step, presumably facing in the other direction when you arrive at the other location. And you see where you were a moment ago. The water displaces itself in your absence. And you see that, like, right next to where you were just standing, there was a, what'd you say, 30 feet?
Yeah, 30 feet.
Okay, yeah. So about 30 feet away from you now, there is a moss-covered, rotting, hollow wooden log resting just barely at the water's surface. And the moment that you bamf out and you get eyes on it, it wobbles a little bit as if it was recently disturbed.
She activates her boots and flies above the water.
Okay. As you do so, you feel the water suddenly is really thick around your legs, as if it turned into like thick, like bog muck, and it prevents you from moving.
Seriously, guys, this isn't funny. What the fuck?
You see. Go ahead.
You first. uses Mage Hand. She's gone 30 feet away, and kind of uses the 10 pounds of force to push at the log.
Okay. You push at the log. It wobbles as if it's not. There's nothing like holding it down in particular.
Oh, fuck.
And as long as you're watching it, you see what looks like a sickly, pale hand with blackened fingernails start to reach up over the back of the log. Its movements are very slow, almost cautious, and it just kind of like spiders out gradually, gripping onto the wood. And then its fingers stretch out in your direction, and from the shadow underneath the hand, you see another hand just emerge. It's not clear whether it's coming from the first hand or it's coming out of the log itself. It just emerges from the darkness itself. And the first hand grips onto the second one at the wrist. And then the second one reaches and a third one comes out and the second one grabs onto it at the wrist. And it extends this chain. And it reaches again and again and again. And by the time there's 6 of these hands, the chain has reached over the log and is in the water. So the next one splashes into the black water. But you can still see it on the surface. And then the next hand comes out of the water and there's another splash. And this chain of hands just floating at the water surface, reaching, snaking through the water in your direction.
Oh, she's trying to nope out of this business.
Yeah,
she runs.
You're trying to move, and whatever has you by the ankles is insistent. And these hands start to just merge one after another slightly faster every time that happens. Just splash, splash, splash. You start to hear a high-pitched ringing sound that just kind of rides alongside this feeling of panic that's starting to set in as these hands are getting ever closer, gaining speed every time there's a new one. By now, there's a few dozen of them. Splash, splash, splash. The ringing is getting louder, filling your ears and your mind. You intake breath sharply as the hands finally reach to you. First one grabs your leg. The chain continues upward, crawling up your body. The ringing is getting impossibly loud. It's sounding like some kind of breathless shrieking. It's ear-splitting. It's impossible to concentrate. A hand grabs you by the throat. Its grip is freezing cold and wet. The next one reaches over your jaw and jams its fingers into your mouth. You can't breathe. The shrieking is so loud it could drive you mad, and despite the noise, you do clearly hear a voice worm its way into your mind, gravelly and strained. Behind you.
Tries to turn her head back.
All 3 of you snap awake to the sound of shrieking filling the cavern. A streak of light and a gust of wind blast past the openings in the side of the mountain, threatening to suck you out. Snow falls off the ledge above you, and outside the window, you see a giant burning mass falling quickly out of the sky, trailing smoke. It shrieks, echo across the snowy valley, fading away from you, and in the dark of the early morning, the light from its fire is the only thing you can see, and you watch as it streaks across the snowy valley. It crashes into the side of a mountain and begins falling, sliding, rolling down the slope, and finally comes to rest in the snow, smoldering just a few miles away from you at the base of the valley.
You think that's bad?
And I think that's where we're going to pick up next time.
Also,
Oh,
I forgot to
Chris.
mention. Well, go ahead first.
Just a quick question. Are you
Mhm.
okay, dude?
Am I okay?
Oh, no, that was wonderful.
That
Yeah, that was great.
I mean,
Well, where'd that
objectively,
come from?
objectively,
Ted?
no, but but that's what
But,
you want in a
I-
dungeon master. You don't want to.
Heck,
You
it
don't.
is.
You don't want a mentally
I don't want-
sound dungeon master.
Exactly. I want someone who's going to make me feel scared.
Wow, okay.
Is everybody okay?
Love it.
Did we all witness this or just Pemberley?
That was all Pemberley. That was
Okay.
all just Pemberley in her head. What you guys was like in the way that a loud sound just wakes you up from sleep. You guys just
Yeah,
heard a
it's just
shrieking
freaking-
sound, just
Yep.
and then it was like. But for Pemberley, it was a little different.
Yeah.
One little thing I forgot to do is when Brando does bring Rallos home, he's like to his mother, "I found Dad."
You just push him into the
Irish-
door like, I found Dad.
Yeah.
Or he's on my back since he can't move
Right.
too well. But yeah, I found Dad.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Cyrus being vindicated.
I guess I'm gonna turn off Twitch now. Sorry, Ari, you showed up at the end.
Aw. Watch the VOD, Ari.
Yeah,
I highly encourage it.
It was good
This
shit.
stream brought to you
A lot
by
has
Marvel
happened.
vs. Capcom 2.
Maybe a little bit Junji Ito.
All right, everybody
Good
say
night, Twitch.
everybody say goodnight to Twitch
night.
and Ari.
Good night,
Good
Twitch.
night.
Bye.
Hugs and kisses.